expensive to put right, and it's not really a proposition for a developer, say, or anyone who wanted to do it as a commercial proposition, which is where we step in as a charity to give it another chapter in history. And we're really its custodians. But if we don't make that investment of time and effort and money, the building won't be there for the next generation and our children won't enjoy it. We feel that is worth the effort. In this case, the building was so far decayed that it was literally collapsing, and it really wasn't an option to do a conventional conservation repair. So we hit on a novel approach here, which is to construct an exciting piece of modern architecture which holds the ancient ruin together and in which you will live. So you're actually staying in a piece of contemporary architecture with views out through the ancient windows, but in the comfort of a modern home. And that will be a novel experience. You will live within a historic building, but in a modern space within it.
It's looking fantastic now. It's going to look really, really good. These are all fixed. This should all be finished Monday night.
What colour's the grouting going to be?
Pretty much the same colour as the adhesive. Wood floors are down in here now. Well, it's down in all the bedrooms. The reason they're up at the minute around the edges is just we're waiting for the brass strip to come, the bespoke strip.
Lovely herringbone.
It is really nice, stuff. Yeah. And then this will be sanded and oiled by the end of the week as well, and then they'll be upstairs put on the floor down. Yeah, all covered up, lovely and nice and neat.
I like the shade that the stain on this wall paneling has come out.
Yeah, it's come out nice, and the birch and the spruce and sycamore, it all comes. It all just works really well. Yeah. You can just imagine waking up in bed there and seeing all this.
Really.
Well,
that's amazing. In this country, the planning laws start from the principle that you should not destroy historic buildings, but you should also not alter them in ways which are inconsistent with their history. Now, usually that means keeping them as they are, but of course historic buildings evolve. Not all changes to them are the right ones in terms of aesthetics or history. So you do end up reversing changes to try to recreate, or to recover would be a better word, to recover their historic interest. In a case like this, it's more extreme because an awful lot has gone and you have to take tough decisions about what to keep and what really is beyond repair. But generally speaking, the principle is to try to preserve historic buildings as near as possible to how they are in terms of their historic interest, their features and their characteristics which make them revered.
so we're moving on with the windows up here, and the tilings ready to be laid out early next week for the kitchen. The sedum roof's going on now externally, so the guys are just climbing in and out of the window at the minute.
It's the way the brickwork just tooths in around the edge of the ancient masonry. And this is one of the external walls of the original castle as well.
Yeah, that's one of the originals, but there's a lot of maybe 250-year-old work there. That's the original.
It's been so altered, so many
Yeah, that's the very original stuff, and that's the old. That would have been an old window arch, an old opening in the wall.
Round-headed arch.
Then this is added on afterwards. So the stonework's colouring down now, and the mortar will take on the colour. It'll change its colour.
Do you expect that lighter mortar? It's planned just to let it tone down.
It'll tone down itself. You'll not notice it. And that wall still wants a little bit of a brush before we put the oak
as it
lines
was,
down.
isn't it? It's just touched up with repair, no
absolutely.
alteration. You've actually on that wall you've got an ancient slab of masonry exactly as it was, just repaired, and then a new wall, and they're just toothed together. It's wonderful.
It's very well done by the guys.
Like a piece of art, isn't it, almost, that wall? You are trying to strike a subtle balance. On the one hand, you want the building to be read, to be understood as a whole, so that you have the feel for what its creators made. but you're also not trying to deceive. So the principle of honest repair means that, for example, you might put slivers of tile in place of a damaged stone, just to show that that was a modern repair. You still have the feel of a stone wall with proper pointing in lime mortar, which is the traditional material. But the repairs will be understood. It's not an attempt to try and deceive the eye that everything is 1,000 years old. These are not usual bricks, are they? They're narrower, more like Tudor bricks. What's the process in actually choosing them and getting the right choice?
The decision the architect made on choosing these bricks was he wanted to show more of the mortar, the lime mortar, than he did the actual brick. So with a normal sized brick, it's the brick that you see.
Yeah.
But with these, we find that you see a lot more of the mortar. You see the bond better.
It's a very conscious visual effect.
Absolutely.
And did he make you do a lot of samples to get exactly the right result?
Quite a few samples for English Heritage to inspect, but I mean they've made the right choice, I think.
No, it works really well.
And with the architect's bond, which was devised specifically for
What's
this job.
What's architect's bond?
The bond of brickwork that's been used on this building has never been used anywhere else. It was invented by the architect, just for your job. But the wall's built with a diaphragm inside, and each diaphragm brick is 672 millimetres apart, I think it is, and every 672 millimetres.
Not 671, not 672.
No, exactly 672.
672.
Yeah. Every one you'll see a half brick, and if you look carefully at the brickwork, you'll see a tiny pencil mark where the bricklayers have marked exactly halfway on the brick and then plumbed every one up. So normally a bricklayer would lay brick after brick after brick, but with this bond, you plumb the two halves up, then you put the centre brick in, and then you lay the other two, and that keeps your joints exactly 18 millimetres.
The level of precision that must have really called a lot of the brickies.
Absolutely, yeah.